He was very lucky to get a race at Nottingham in the Stewards, and earlier on in his career, the winner was disqualified post-race. So he's a bit.
I didn't know that.
That's an interesting little
one. Yeah,
quirky stat. I can see why. You look at him carrying his head high in the paddock. He's a bit awkward. Flora will have to be on a mettle to get this one home in front.
OK, horse number 2 behind is Fast Steps with the cheek pieces back on for Rod and Patrick Millman.
Yeah, we've been struggling to find the key with this horse. Pat's ridden him the last twice at Newbury. So far, beat us over a mile, and Study the Stars beat us over a mile. 2 furlongs. We take on both of those again. He's got ability. It's just a bit tricky, and this is probably stronger than normal amateur races.
Is he better in cheek pieces?
Don't know.
I hope so. Number 5 is behind. That is Bruno's Gold for Brody Hampson and Archie Watson. Lightly raced air winner last time.
Yeah, progressive. Archie and Brody do target these amateur races. He's 2 from 4. Only won by a neck, up £3. Interesting little contender, really, isn't he? Could be better than his mark.
And behind is number 1, that is Bad Company. Also cheek pieces, Serena Brotherton for Jim Boyle. Likely pace angle?
He is the pace angle. Won the race last year under Serena, beating one of ours, Prince of Hearts. He's actually dropped £2 for his run at Windsor the other day, so he's £2 wrong at the weights as such, and this is more competitive than last year.
That is the 7 ahead of the opener.
Study the Stars wears a red hood, you can see on the big screen there. winner at Ayr last time, Brody Hampson riding.
As James and I are just fending off a wasp, we welcome viewers on Racing TV Extra, and we can attack this amateur rider's handicap.
Trying to save those drama school skills, Mr. Stanley.
Yeah, exactly. Who's the most likely winner, first of all?
Oh, most likely winner. Stay the Stars. Couldn't have been more impressed, actually, of how easily he won the Newbury Amateur Race. He's been transformed, hasn't he, really, since switching to the George Baker yard. Gets on well with a very experienced Simon Walker. Up £8, but he would have carried that £8 fast steps. He was second on occasion, £6 better off. Can he repeat it again? He's a little bit in and out, I suppose, as you're negative against Stay the Stars, but for me, he's the best handicap still.
OK, so, which brings us to Bruno's Gold, another last-time out winner who I thought had the profile of a horse that could kick on and could keep on enjoying success. Brody Hampson and Archie Watson. How much do you make of it? You know, they talk about they target these sorts of races. Is that just a bit overdone now?
Well, I think Archie's always got a programme book open and is specifically making sure if there's an amateur race, Brody's got a good ride in it. And this horse would have been an obvious candidate for a higher grade amateur race than normal after winning it at Ayr. Only went up to £3. Won in its debut, so was quite a sharp type at Newcastle back in February. His races are quite spread out. He ran in February, April, May, missed all of June and July. 24 days, it's a relatively quick turnaround. And like you remarked, I thought he would be favourite because of his profile and connections. And the fact he's third favourite might be a bit of a negative for his chances.
Yeah, I did. You know, being a 3-year-old in here, just fifth start, won 50% of his starts, I thought he'd attract a good bit of support. What have you maybe nothing. What do you make of Galileo Gold as a stallion and what have you?
He's got some good ones. Oscula's a tough standout.
She's running again at the weekend.
She won at Goodwood. She ran on the Saturday at Ascot. Won at Goodwood on the Tuesday to Wednesday.
I think she's running at Haydock.
Nick Bradley likes to keep his fillies busy once they're in form, and why not? Very, very tough. This one does seem to be having a bit more space between his races. Galileo Gold has done better than I expected, bearing in mind how quirky he was on the track. Paco Boy, his side, didn't do very well as a sire. So yeah, he's got a lot of nice horses on the ground, and this one's a good advert for him.
OK, your horse here, Fast Steps. You say he's got his quirks. He's not the easiest.
Yeah,
so what does he need to drop right for him to score?
Soft ground, which we're not getting.
Great.
He's run well for Pat in a couple of amateur races at Newbury, but he has been beaten by Sofosk and Say the Stars. When you take into account the rider claims, he's £1 better off with Sofosk, £6 better off with Say the Stars. I hope we can get a win out of him. He's really well at home. He's enjoying life down in Devon. It might be next year, the winter on his back, that we get the best out of him. And normally we target amateur races because they're weak. This is very much the exception. It's a really competitive contest.
Yeah. OK, fair enough. That's Fast Steps with the cheek pieces back on, which are on for the Newbury second and then left off for the Study the Stars race. Bad company under Serena Brotherton's likely to go forward with.
Yeah, that's the pace angle. Serena stole it from the front last year. I imagine she'll do the same from stall 2. Will not be too far behind her, I wouldn't expect, if they're going steady. He's perhaps getting a little bit exposed now. He's had a good season once again. Jim Boyle had a nice winner at Foss last the other day. I wouldn't rule him out, but he actually dropped £2, so he's actually £2 wrong at the weights, having finished third at Windsor the other day.
Who's going to be amateur champion this year? Do we know? Do we think?
I haven't really looked. Brody,
no,
probably.
Really?
They got separate gentlemen and female amateur championships. I'm not sure about a gentleman. Simon, I think, would probably be leading. Pat's won it a couple of times.
Right?
Simon's normally. James Harding and brother equalled it the other year.
Not sure how many more we've got to go forward here. That is Bruno's Gold to head in. You want to say anything about Noble Mark? I suppose the notable story would be Flora Guy's first winner. Yeah, and it would be Noble Mark's first past the post if he did actually win conventionally, as he's been awarded 2 races so far, but he looks tricky. He really does, yeah. He's going to come out of stall number 6 for Sir Mark Prescott. And there he goes forward. So I think there's one more out the back. And for the first of 6 races, we can get up and join Richard Hoyles.
Thanks very much, Tom. Last one's forward. Bad Company will complete the line for the Corinthian Amateur Jockeys Handicap, which gets us underway here this evening. Fast Steps didn't exactly live up to his name, and Sofosk's rider grabbed hold Josh Agar as they jumped out as Bad Company. A habitual front runner is adopting those tactics again. They were successful in the race 12 months ago when Serena Brotherton was in the saddle, as she is this afternoon, and she leads by 2 lengths as they race through the first quarter mile. Bruno's Gold sits in second place. That's the pale blue colours. Third is disputed by Study the Stars and Noble Mark. Noble Mark now moving up on the outside and making places under Flora Guy, taking a pretty keen hold, and is now just forcing Bad Company to stride on a little faster. Silverscape races in 5th place with Fast Steps, and Sofosk, who was eased coming out of the stalls, is detached by a good 5 or 6 lengths at this stage as they race towards the final 7 furlongs. Out in the lead, Bad Company. A glance across from Serena Brotherton sees Flora Guy on Noble Mark in 2nd place, and because she's taking a keen hold here, it's making this a disputed lead for the first time. They've now stretched on 3 lengths from Bruno's Gold and Study the Stars. Then behind these is Silverscape. As these two begin to duel round the turn, Sofosk remains the back marker and will be a good dozen lengths behind, as Noble Mark's just proving a little bit difficult to steer around the bend, and that's allowed Bad Company to retake the advantage. Bad Company leading by a length, Noble Mark in 2nd. Pale blue colours of Bruno's Gold on the inside of Study the Stars. Behind those, the grey Silverscape, then Fast Steps in the black sleeves, and Sofosk is still the back marker. So out in the lead, it's Bad Company, who shows the way with 2.5 furlongs to go. Bruno's Gold in 2nd place, Noble Mark towards the outside. In 4th is Study the Stars, then Fast Steps. Out in the lead, Bad Company, still trying to hold on here with 2 furlongs to go. Bruno's Gold for Brodie Hampson has moved through into 2nd place. Noble Mark's still there on the outside for Flora Guy, but it's Bad Company and Serena Brotherton who are still holding on here. Silverscape coming out of the pack, the grey. Fast Steps down the outside, and then Noble Mark. Bad Company still trying to hold on here. Down the outside, Fast Steps is surging to the lead, and Fast Steps, a deserved success for Patrick and Rod Millman. In 2nd place, Bad Company. Sofosk from well off the pace has run through for 3rd, having been set a lot to do. Silverscape was home in 4th.
Oh, you know, that was just as much fun to watch the race as it was to watch James Millman's reaction to really the whole ride given by his brother throughout, because what did you make of it?
It wasn't as expected, Thomas.
Well, there we are, thinking on the spot, James, he was, wasn't he, Pat? He obviously noticed they were going quite a pace, just took the horse back a little bit, produced him at the perfect time.
I could say he did that, but it went wrong before he knew they were going too quick. But luckily, he's a quirky old devil. And
he won quite nicely in a good, it's a good race.
He's picked up nicely today. He's at home, he's feeling really well. We've struggled to get the key to him, which hadn't had him for 2 years. He was a 280 grand yearling. We thought we'd have a really good year. We didn't expect amateur races were going to be on the agenda. But Pat's been second on him twice, and he's got him home in front now for Eric Gaz, and he's a big earner for the yard.
Do you think it helped in any way that he challenged, pick up here, obviously pulls him out wide in the straight. I thought at one stage he was going to go inside, but do you think it helped that he made his challenge?
Got a bit lost, I think, trying to find a gap.
Do you think it helped that he made his main challenge away from horses?
More maybe the ground. We do see it Sandown sometimes if you stick to that far side route. Sometimes it's an advantage, but other times he's picked up quite nicely, and he doesn't normally do that. Not for us anyway.
I was thinking more of his quirky nature, whether or not if he's on his own there, he doesn't have
he could have done
other horses to worry about.
Just good to get him to win.
Yeah.
Serena's been unlucky because Noble Mark has run away with poor Flora Guy, and it's just destroyed Serena's easy lead. The fact that he stayed on for 2nd, he's run an absolute cracker. Sofosk, who beat us at Newbury, got a little bit far behind. The disappointment was Simon Walker's Stay the Stars, who
massively
absolutely thrashed us last time, and I didn't think we might beat him, but
just didn't found
still nothing. And to be fair, Pat's tracking him, thinking that will carry us into the race like last time, and he hasn't actually gone anywhere. We mentioned Archie Watson's doesn't run that often, and it maybe needs a lot of time between races, because that was quite a quick return, and he's bombed out a little bit.
I thought he was really going to feature at this stage, but another one that didn't really finish off his race. This is where he gets pulled out. Patrick Millman pulls out Fast Steps.
And to be fair to Pat, there was no room for him on the inside.
Did you think he'd find like that?
At home, he's so slow and disappointing, and I wasn't too sure what he'd do. But I think the switcher now has just helped him, and they've all just not really picked up on the inside. But yeah, just nice to get him home in front.
Yeah, travels well, doesn't he?
Yeah, we were hoping to make him a 2-miler, and we thought he'd do really well stepping up in trip. I think his full brother ran well in the Gordon Stakes for Jim Bolger, forgot his name. So we trained him for stamina, and it just didn't work. We ran him a mile and a quarter to start off with, and he wasn't getting home at all. But I think he might step up to mile and a half and go into Derby next at Epsom, probably be his next target.
2 miles would be stretching it, wouldn't it?
I'd say so, but we were hoping that if he was going to be as nice as we'd like him to be, he'd need to be running at staying trips, because he's only rated 76 today, I think, and we were hoping he was going to be 90 plus when we bought him, because